Yes, I just started that. I would also request people to mute yourself, but you can always ask your questions throughout the entire presentation in the chat window, and we will periodically go through all the questions and address them. All right, with that, let's get started. So the today's agenda is primarily about, and I'm just going to also stop my video just to save my bandwidth, because I'm actually joining this call from India. So now that you all have introduced myself, I'm just going to stop my video. Okay. So today's call is primarily about the new look and feel of Whiteboard.Chat, not so much about all the hundreds of features that we have. We will not get enough time to deep dive into the features that we have. So our focus, the bulk of the time we will be spending on figuring out how to navigate your way around the new look and feel. We'll also tell you when we plan to roll it over to the main Whiteboard.Chat, and also give you some time to experience with the new look and feel while inviting you to join the board as a student. Q&A is all throughout. It's not necessarily that we are going to do it at the end of it. So please keep asking your questions whenever you have it in the chat window. All right, with that, let's just directly go to our, so this is our main Whiteboard.Chat. I have launched my board here, and I just wanted to, before I dive into the newer version of Whiteboard, I wanted to talk a little bit about why we decided to do that. And before that, many of you may already know about Whiteboard.Chat, but I thought that it is, let me just quickly talk about what is the key feature that we have here. The Whiteboard.Chat, the name itself is kind of a misnomer that we have realized it lately. What it is a digital notebook. It allows teachers to create their own digital lesson plans using one of the largest collection of digitized manipulatives, as well as some active widgets. And once you have created this digital notebook, you invite the students. The key feature of Whiteboard.Chat is the observability that the teacher has over the students. So each student gets their own copy of the digital notebook, and they cannot write on each other's notebook. However, and they cannot actually delete whatever the teacher has written. But teacher has an unparalleled observability of every single student's digital notebook in real time. So they can, like, imagine a classroom, and you are at the head of the class and you are overlooking the entire class. As you are roaming around, you can look over the shoulder and look at their what the students are doing. That is exactly what Whiteboard.Chat offers. We grew kind of rather rapidly since the version 1.0 was released in the middle of pandemic in 2020, around August, July timeframe. We had hardly 10 plus features there, and now we have about 250 plus features. We had less than 1,000 users who are using it daily to more than 75,000 users who are using Whiteboard daily. And we have over 2 million total sessions over the last 6 to 8 months. So you can see that the growth has been tremendous, and our focus has been on introducing the new features, listening to you. And most of these features are all entirely designed by the teacher. So our focus was so much on that we also realized that our interface, our user interface, was becoming a little bit overwhelming, a little bit too busy. And these were the complaints that we kept receiving over and over again from the teachers. So for example, if you have like the tools that we have, like there are like way too many tools, and all of the tools are kind of grouped together here. Our interface is also like all four corners of the board. It's quite busy and things are spread around. So sometimes it makes it can get a little bit challenging to figure out where what is and to remember that. And also we didn't have full consistency in the way our different panels were designed. So we listen, as we always do. That is one of the key things that we have here is a very, very powerful and engaged teachers community. And we decided to launch this Whiteboard.Chat version 2.0. So let's just go there. So this is v2.whiteboard.chat. That's what I have typed in the address bar. I want to point it out that it's a temporary URL. We will be rolling this new look and feel out to all of our 3 different properties, which is whiteboard.chat, uswest.whiteboard.chat, and asia.whiteboard.chat in a week to 2 weeks time frame from now. We've created a new v2.whiteboard.chat so that all of you can get a feel of it. Those who have your accounts at whiteboard.chat and who have created your boards at our main property, your accounts are already available at V2, so you can easily log in. So that's what I would do. Another thing I wanted to point out, if you get a time and later on, is that we have a new website as well. A lot of new information is available here. Particularly about our inclusion and accessibility initiatives that we have. We want you guys to take a look at that and give your feedback on as well. We also have consolidated some really fantastic testimonials that we have. So come here, take a look, the new look and feel of the website as well. So with that, let's just launch into the actual board. So you do the exact same way. We haven't changed how you launch your board. So I'm just gonna go, I'm already logged in. The browser has remembered me from my previous login. And I have already created a board. So I'm just going to launch that just the way you guys do currently. And I just want to apologize that occasionally you may see some delay, because that is primarily because I am based in India and v2.whiteboard.chat is hosted in US. So apologize for that. Hold on, let me just hide my thumbnail view. Okay, so this is what you have in front of you is the kind of the new look and feel. And of course, we are going to go detail into each one of them. But before I even walk you through and kind of we go from one end of the board to the other end and look at all the different things that are there, there are a few things I want to point out. One is that we have not deprecated a single feature. So if you are a whiteboard.chat user, every single feature that we have on whiteboard.chat, they all are supported on whiteboard.chat version 2.0, which is essentially the new look and feel. The only thing you need to do is to understand where the features are. That has been rearranged, and I will tell you the reason behind it. And it's actually grouped in a much more logically rational way. And therefore, we are hopeful that once you understand it, you will quickly be able to find your way around. Another thing we have done it is to learn from the latest UX and UI, which is the user interface and user experience design principles that are prevalent in the industry, and apply that to the whiteboard.chat so that we are kind of in line with what is happening. So that even makes it easier for people to find their way around, because this is how most of the other online properties are also designed. So with that, let's just go around what we have here. All right, so I'm going to start first with and we are going to make our way from left to the right, and I'll walk you through everything what we have here. Here I have just put what is where, so you also kind of get a feel of it, but we will go through each one of them. That is the purpose of this particular webinar. All right, so on the left side, if you can see that, it's highly simplified compared to the previous version of it. As I clicked on the top hamburger menu to open up a descriptive panel where each of the toolbar has their, so you know what is there. If you look at it under the drawing tools, we have consolidated all the things that you could do with drawing. They are all there, including the latest magic draw that is also there. And you have your shapes are also here that you can put it there. Another thing, if you can notice, is that with each one of them, for example, here with circles, you have a heart. And then if I select that, that shows up. So you can create your own favorite panels of tools, and that will show up on the top of the entire left side toolbar. Then if you go in the right, then you have everything that you can do with typing. So if previously they were scattered around, so this text box in one menu, right? Rich text was somewhere else, the handwriting was somewhere else, the math was somewhere else. We have again consolidated all of them at one place. Sorry, Pawan, you have to, I'm assuming that you or Sid will interrupt me whenever there are any questions. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. Make sense?
Yeah, I think somebody is unmuted. Maybe you may want to mute them.
Oh, okay. Let me figure it out. Can I just request people to mute yourself so that we have less interruption? And again, you have the chat window to write your questions whenever. Then the next one is, of course, the upload. Again, upload also we have consolidated. So you can upload file from your computer. You also know that now we are fully integrated with Google Drive. The games are also kind of linked together here under upload itself. So bingo, gameplay, and also the link PDF. Tools is something where the biggest change has happened. And you will notice that it just because we have less number of tools here doesn't mean that we have deprecated them. Many of them have been shifted.
Hello, Pachi, how are you?
Hello, Katy. ¿Cómo estás vos?
Fine, and you? Everything okay?
Can I request, hold on, who is?
Yes.
Yes, very.
Okay. All right, I have unmuted. So sorry for that. I just muted somebody. I didn't want to do that. All right, we are back to tools. Here are some of the most common tools that you would be using to create your board. For example, grids and drop zone are some of the most widely used features because drop zone allows you to create so many things. So only those things are under the tools, and many of the things have been shifted to the right, and I'll tell you why and the reason behind it, and we will go through that. The rest of the things you already know: select, move, resize, and lasso. So it's a very simplified left side toolbar. Now on the top left corner, you see the logo. Now that is actually how you can go back to the home page. Another thing you would notice is that everywhere we have a more descriptive tooltips, just the way you saw right here. You have your undo, redo buttons, your refresh buttons. For the board, there are, like, if you probably already know that there are 3 different kinds of boards. One is the instructor board, and I have joined here as an instructor. On a student board, it will tell you as a student board. And here itself, you can change the name of the board, which what I have set as Whiteboard.Chat version 2.0. And all the things that you could do with your board, essentially copy the page or download the PDF, export the entire board, import it, save a copy for yourself and create another class out of it, send it to another teacher, or share it with the community. All of that has been consolidated together on the top, so that it is easier for you to kind of figure out that these are my board related controls in terms of kind of literally board management, saving a copy, stuff like that. As far as the, so we have a trash icon, and there everything is consolidated regarding clearing and deleting your page. So this was also spread all around earlier. So that is also one place where it's all there. Another important thing is what you can say are the pen thickness and opacity and the font size, which was a panel on the lower right corner, if you remember, on Whiteboard 1.0, which is, I'm gonna go back quickly. I'm talking about this lower panel right here, where you have the name of the person and all of that. That has been now shifted, hold on. Into a contextual panel here. So what that means is that only when you are drawing and writing, the 5 options on the top will show up. But for example, let's say if I select something else, then those options will go away because I'm not now drawing or writing. But let's say if you click back on the board to start drawing or writing, it will show up. So this is your dashed pan, your highlighter, your font size. So even for the font size changes, we have this vertical way of increasing and reducing your font size. Same exists for your pen thickness. So it makes it easier for you to figure it out. So essentially the controls are the same, On the previous design also, we had a slider. Here also, it's a vertical slider. So that's what it is. And this is your opacity. And we have more fonts, which you already know that now we also support fonts for several fonts that are geared toward specific for people with dyslexia, and others for kids as well, like Sassoon and Comic Sans have been added here. So that's the top panel. This is the color picker. So previously we had two different color pickers on the top and on the bottom. Now it is all decided at the same place. So just the same way as what you used to do before, you can either pick a color by clicking directly here, or we have preset 16 different colors for you, which you can pick, and that it will change it. Most of the panel has this 3 dots on the top, which allows you to drag your entire panel wherever you want it to be. And there is a cross that you will see to close the panel. So there is a consistency across all the panels. This is your student signals, you have your class timers. So again, the functionality hasn't changed. You may find a different look and feel of it. So that's the only difference that you will see. And the help is where we have also kind of added a little bit more. So now the help is kind of, as you see, is very prominent on the main panel itself. So the guided tour has been changed. It will, and we would want you guys to go through the guided tour. It will really help you navigate your way around. We have created this, and I'm just going to quickly go through that because this is important. And this is a PDF file that I directly launched from within your board. It is essentially showcasing what I just showed you, but along with a lot of details. So you can download this PDF. It tells you all the features which are on the left side of the table, and on the right side where you can find each of those features. So for example, if you are ever lost, you can use this PDF. You can use its search mechanism to search for a feature, and it will tell you where you should find that particular feature. So that is, and it is directly accessible from the help itself. Earlier, our webinars, trainings were...
Sorry,
Yes,
Dhaval, there is a question from Cynthia. Is there a student version of the help menu that will help the student?
Yes. So essentially, if you are looking at from a navigation point of view, you are right. We can create a new similar kind of a PDF for student. What we have is a student guide, and that student guide, let me just click on it and I'll show you, because it already has a navigation information for student itself. Just allow me to load that, and I'll quickly scroll through and point you to the frame where we have the entire panel right here. So if the students can access this student guide, and this is the student version of the view. So using this this picture, they can figure out where is what. So there is some version of it, not exactly the way what we have prepared for the navigation guide, but I think this should work for the time being. We have the complete feature list. We also have this other one, which probably some of you have already looked at it. Essentially, it's all the features with a hyperlinked videos. So each one of them, you can click on it. It will take you to a specific video from our YouTube channel where each of these feature is described. So that is also now directly linked from the help. So help is now literally with you. I mean, right there, you don't have to worry about it. All of that is accessible from the board. All right, keep moving on the towards the right. The participant panel is as is. The difference is earlier, like for example, if I were to change my name, then there is I can just, let's just call me as Dhaval. So you can change your name directly within the participants panel. Otherwise, everything else is as is. You know how to the log class, the log page, the follow teacher, create chat, create group board. Not much has changed here. It's just that it is a little bit more easy for you to navigate and figure it out. Like if you, right now I have a couple of students who have joined. So make co-teacher, you can showcase their board, you can call an individual student. All of that is available directly from the participant panel. continue to move towards the right, and I'm still on the top side, is the action. So these are the board action. This is remain exactly the same. This is our older 3 dots menu. We haven't changed much here, except that another thing you would notice is that wherever we have any menus, whether it's a right click menu that opens up on a selection of an object or whatever it is, we have tried to make them alphabetically sorted. So it gets it easier for you. If you're looking for something, you kind of figure it out easily to go to where to go. But this remains as is. Not much has changed there in terms of the options that are available. This is where you log in and you set up your, this has also remained more or less the same. On the top, we have the 3 different options for the student board control. Either you can figure out the simple tools, very simple tools, and I will walk you through that what these 3 things actually mean. There is a slide for that as well. So just hold on for that. And this is, so these 2 are kind of what teachers have told us about, and we have grouped the tools based on the recommendation, but you also have full freedom to customize your own tools. So here, everything that is available to you, you can decide what the student should have and should not have. So that freedom is there. Going back to the settings. And rest of the things you already know. All of these settings were previously as well available as well. They are just all consolidated in a switch manner. So now it is easy for you to enable toggle on and off. That's the new look and feel of it. Yeah, I think everything else makes the same thing, not much of a difference here. And finally, the invite button. So invite is also not much has changed, except that we have now included the co-teacher invite here itself. Earlier, if you were to invite one of your participants as a co-teacher, that was included within the settings. But since it is all about inviting people to your board, we have put them under the same modal here. So you click on it, and that's only you will get to see the co-teacher invite. So there isn't, you don't accidentally use that invite to invite your students. The student invites are on the top. The class code is right here and the link is here. So that is how, and the QR code remains the same. Directly posting the link to the Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, they are also available right there. This is how it has been in the current whiteboard as well. The changes are on the right hand side. So let me just talk about, so this is, if you remember, this is where the entire manipulative panel used to show up. So now the manipulative panels has been split into 2 parts.
Sorry, there are 2 suggestions on the chat. One is that from Cynthia to say this overlays that you are showing where things are for students as well for the teachers. If we can add a quick button to show them, to bring them up as a quick reference, right? We should add that to the list.
Okay.
And the second one is that the config option where students can write on only their board, that should be made the default. We should change the default for that too.
Yes, wonderful suggestions. Thank you. We will definitely do that. And yes, you are right. If instead of I asking you to go to the navigation.pdf and opening it there, if there is a way for you to just have this information right on the board, yeah, we can totally think about doing it, and we will add that. What I was talking about is the right side, this entire new panel. So again, it can be completely moved around using the top 3 dots. So here, if you look at it, there are 2 parts. The gizmos are what we call it as your static symbols. So if you remember, you had like a lot of things. So now we have tried to group them. So all the alphabets are on the top, then some of the clothes, the candies, the faces, these are all animals and people. Then all the currencies have been grouped together here. The scientific experiments are together, the seasonal festival, the mathematical symbols, manipulative. So we try to group them such that it becomes easier for you to find your way around. And we are calling this as gizmos because these are static symbols. By that, what we mean is that, let's say, for example, you go to the English alphabet, you click on it and you just place it. So it's actually an image of a static thing that gets placed on the board. as opposed to we have what we call as the widgets. So all of these widgets used to be under the tools on the left side, which we have now shifted it towards the right side. So the idea here is that the left side toolbar is how you can kind of manipulate the board, like drawing, writing, adding and uploading the PDF and stuff. But when it comes to creating your lessons, everything that you need are available on the right side, which is your manipulatives, your factories, your calculators, the spinner, the clock, all of the things that you actually add to the board to create a highly engaging lesson. That is all available on the right side. So that way you can kind of try to, wire your brain that, what is on the left, what is on the right, and how your behavior can, easily you can find the way around. So these are all the widgets that I think you already guys know about it. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but again, they are also alphabetically ordered. And the things that you add in your own palette, that's going to be under my object. And then you also have the search to search for what you are looking for. So that's what we have for the right-hand side panel. Essentially, to know about is that we have split the entire manipulatives across two categories, gizmos and widgets. Those are the two takeaways from the right side panel and how it is cleanly embedded on the right side of the board. Sorry, and one thing which I forgot to talk about is, and maybe some of you have already noticed, is how the board boundary, you see, there is a clear-cut boundary of the board. Previously, you wouldn't know where the board starts and the board ends. What we have now, can I request Ivy to please mute yourself? Okay. What you can see now is that there is a clear-cut border of the board. So right here and here, and that makes it easier for you to figure it out that where you can put things and where you should not. And because earlier there were many instances where things were getting hidden or they were getting outside of the board. So we have tried to address that by defining the board boundaries with a very clear-cut differentiation visually. Going to the kind of the bottom of the board. So we have here, of course, your pagination is here. So these are different views of the board. By that I mean is that you have your the thumbnail view where all of your pages are shown. So that is right there. And then of course your grid view where you can observe your students and see that. So that is there. And the grid settings are also on the top right here, using which you can decide if you want to have 3 rows, 3 columns, all of that, which is again, all the panels you can move around. They are all there. So that is a common feature now. Nothing is more like a stationary, unless and until it's a decision-making panel where you have to make a decision, then it is a stationary panel. Going back to the single view here. And again, apologize because if there is some delay. Yes. So I was just talking about the bottom views that we have. And then finally, you can click on the manage boards to go to your and figure it out where your boards are. So that is right there as one of the tab view. So if you look at it, the manage book feature, which we used to have in Whiteboard.1.0, that has all been shifted into these two menus. Like essentially, you can just do there is a drop down on the top with the board name, and that's where you have your all the options to manage your book. So this is the kind of at a very high level where you can find your way around. Any questions or any other suggestions, Pawan?
There are questions. Dhawal, there's a question to show if maybe we can do that towards the end, how you can make movable tiles, right?
Yes.
And then there is another one to say, I didn't understand the question. Can you change the order, specifically the front panel?
By that, are we meaning like this panel, the order in which these things are there, or the order in which we have this layer?
Oh, the first page. Oh, sorry. No, we still cannot move the first page. We will try and fix that soon.
The pagination issues, yes. So we are aware of it. We need to rework on some of the bugs that are issued with exist with the pagination, the thumbnail view where you can rearrange the pages. Yes, that is we can do. Yes, I have a slide, Pavan, on which I was just going to showcase the tile factory and make them movable, and then invite all the participants to the board. But before I go there, I just wanted to quickly, because there have been many questions about the student controls essentially, and I just wanted to list them down here so that they know before I go and invite people as a student. So what I want to talk about here are the 3 different options that you have available here. If you don't select anything.
So sorry, one more question. Does the working board size work on an iPad? Kids had to move the page around still on 1.0.
We have these 5 different sizes for the boards available. So one of them is an iPad size. So if you create your board by
Accountant.
Okay, hold on, let me mute. Can you hold on.
I remember.
Okay, sorry for that. I again have to mute someone. Didn't wanted to do that. Yes, the question was for the iPad. So we have 5 different sizes of the board that you can preset before you upload or create your board.
Don't translate. We understand English. We should understand English.
Remember your needs.
Can I request Kathy to please mute yourself? I have been muting yourself, but then you are also again unmuting. I really request you to please mute yourself so there is less disturbance. Thank you so much. Okay, going back to, we have an iPad size. So if you set your board using an iPad size from the get-go and then add your objects or your PDF files to it, then the chances are that the students don't have to scroll around. So if you can just take advantage of that, and then if you are facing any issues, you can let us know. Okay, I was just talking about the tools that are available for the students. So for students, the teachers want to control what students can see and cannot see. So there are 2 pre-configured groupings of the tools. One is a simple tool, one is a very simple tool. Let's first quickly go through that. And the customized tool is you can customize everything. So I'm not gonna, it's very self-explanatory. But let's say you have not configured either one of them, meaning there are no restriction. So in that case, what the students will have access to will be upload. They can upload it locally or a local file or directly from a Google Drive. They will not have access to upload a bingo or a gameplay or nothing like that. So that is only teacher control. On the download side, on the top, I'm talking about this option, they can only download their own board. They don't have any other options as well. In terms of deleting, they only can clear their own page. They cannot do anything else. Draw, write is all available, move, resize. Tools, all the tools that we have here, they will be available to them except for the time machine, because time machine is something that a teacher can place on a student's board to figure out how that board has progressed in time. So student cannot do that on their own. All the widgets, all the gizmos and the managed board, this is all available. However, if you then select the simple tools, then it is more or less the same, except that under the tools, we have more restriction. There are a few things that we have taken away, and they don't have, if you select a simple tool, they don't have managed boards. They also do not have access to going back to the home, meaning this button, this will be hidden. They will not have access to that. And very simple tool is literally no upload, no download. You can clear, draw, but draw also meaning just click and draw, no text box, no rich text, none of the things are available. So this is also something we can kind of put it out there so people can understand it clearly, that these are the 3 groupings that we have for the student boards for controlling what things are available to the students. I think so. There was a question about the tiles, right? So I have created 2 pages. One is this here. I have added, uploaded a PDF, and people can. What I was thinking was that I can invite people to kind of start playing with it, and that maybe we can get more questions about it. But let me just quickly show, because there was a question on it, and I already have a slide for that. So let's create a tile factory, and here the idea is just to let people add and showcase the continents and oceans. So here is an image that I have uploaded, and I'll just quickly address the question that we had. So let's create a factory tile. And I'm gonna, here is what you can do. And this is about the tiles only. For the objects, I will show you how you can make a student can clone or movable. So I'm just gonna make them, the students can move. So let's just create. All right, and I'm just gonna create this tiles. And what we can do now is that let's just pretend as a student, and you guys, I can also invite you as well. But before I do that, so these tiles are now movable by the student, and then when I send you an invite, you guys can also try it out. But before that, I also wanted to quickly showcase, because there have been always some questions about answer boxes and assigning points to it and all of that. So I thought that maybe I can include that as well. So here I have already, this is a place value chart where we are expanding the numbers into the full 3-digit. Let me just add quickly. So now that if you want to add a text box, you just go to the right. You click on the text box, and let me just add a text box for this guy, 454. And we'll add assign an answer to it. So you right click on that. So this is the right click menu, which is available for any object that you place. And again, if you notice it, it has been alphabetically reordered. So it makes it easier for you to find your way around. So the first thing we want to do for this one is then add an answer to it. So let's assign 0.2. This is 454. So I'm just going to do 4 times 100 plus 54. So 5 times 10 plus 4. So this is the answer that I have added for myself. So now if and another thing we could do quickly here is that if students want to self-check themselves, then the add link, which used to be on the left side of the toolbar, as we just explained, that has been now a part of a widget. So let's just add a link. Oops, where is right here. And this is actually for the autocorrect. So I'm just gonna call that as self-check, sorry. And let's save it. All right, so student can do their own self-check as well. So this is just a quick one. What I can do now is, if there are no questions, you can.
There are some, Dhawal.
Okay.
One question: how do we move over to version 2.0?
Yes, so as I was pointing it out, you don't have to do anything. v2.whiteboard.chat is a temporary URL that we have created. So you can use your existing boards that you have created at Whiteboard.Chat and play around with it. We will be rolling over this new interface to all the 3 properties that we have currently, which is Whiteboard.Chat, US West.Whiteboard.Chat, and Asia.Whiteboard.Chat in a week to 2 weeks time frame. And we will, of course, be notifying at the social media and all the places when that switch is happening. So one fine morning when you wake up, you will see that your whiteboard, if you go to Whiteboard.Chat, it will have what you see now, the version 2 look and feel. So that we will do the rollover. You don't have to do anything, and all of your existing boards and your accounts and everything will be accessible directly. Nothing should change, and no action would be required on your side.
Another one is to request to show breakdown and drop zone.
Okay, all right. So how about we do that? Let's just go to a different page here. Okay, hold on. Yes, sorry, again, it takes some time to load, because I can I'm from here. Okay, so let's see if it not upload, sorry. If we just do, let's just try first. For the breakdown, I'm just going to first put some coins. Let's see. So for the coins, I'm just going to first pick, let's look at the US currency. So go to the US currency and let's pick a big bill. Let's say big bill number 5. So this is what I have placed on the board. Now I'm just going to go here under tools, select breakdown. And all I did was to just click on the bill for number 5, and it broken it down to dollar bills. I can keep clicking, and it will take me to the penny level. So I just clicked on dollars. So this is how the breakdown works. It's pretty simple.
Can you show it with the math manipulative tool? Sorry.
Yes. Hold on. So let me go and put. So let's say I put a 10 block here, and this is my 10 block. I'm just going to close this panel. Again, I'm going to select the breakdown. So there it is. And all I did here is to click on that. So the 10 block, and you can do this with 100 blocks. The bigger, the idea is the same. It will break it down to the lowest unit that it can be possibly broken down into. I can't now further break down one into anything else because there are no decimal blocks that we have. So this is for the breakdown. And the other question was about drop zone. So let's place a drop zone here. So drop zone has many properties. So if I were to place a drop zone and then if I right click on it, I can make that as an auto count hold on.
Yeah, let's do an auto count because we have all the things here already.
Yeah. So I can do a make auto counter. So that's what I have done. And so essentially if I place this, but the thing is that this I haven't made them movable. Okay, I'm just gonna got it from here itself now. Sorry, quickly. So let's say I add a coin. I can add another coin here, or let's say if I just add a bill. So as you move them inside the box, it counts them and it will add the value to whatever the value you have it. You can also do the same thing with the math manipulative. So for example, if you have your PV disk here, which are the point value disk, and let's say, for example, you have added this and then you can add them as well by literally moving them inside the drop zone and it will count it. So one of the questions that you could have asked to your students could be that you create a board, you put a drop down, you add your things and you have put an instruction on the top that create a PV value of 10.1 or create a dollar value of 1.5, whatever, and then they are the one who has to now move the things around. So this is how the drop down works. It's again very simple. Any other question, Pawan?
Could you speak about the accessibility of Whiteboard.Chat? How accessible are the tools? How will things work with the screen reader? Maybe you can show the immersive reader and stuff, Pawan.
Yes, I can. So I think what I can do now is just maybe type it in something quickly and then create an immersive reader out of it. Hold on just a minute. Oops, yeah. Okay, I placed a text here. I'm going to go in here and so you can add it. So immersive reader would work where if you have uploaded a PDF file which already has the content in it, and you can add the content of that PDF itself, because sometimes some of the content is not fully readable, or you can type it in and that also becomes, and then let's see if I were to just click on, hold on, I don't think I quit, and it should be, see, I have a microphone, so I don't know if you will be able to read it, but essentially it will launch the immersive. Don't know whether you actually heard it or not, but this is how it actually works. All you have to do is to click on an example of a text that either you have uploaded as an image, as a PDF, or you can even edit it and you can type it in and it will be read aloud to you. Anything else, Pavan?
Yeah, and we also have alt text on all of the buttons, all of the images, everything. So if they are using a screen reader software, they should be able to use it.
Yes, and another thing we have done is that from an accessibility point of view, if you look at it, all the tooltips they are all very the font size, the contrast of it, at least the things that a student is supposed to access, we have tried to make them as accessible as possible. We actually did an accessibility audit of the interface. We are almost there. We know we still have some work to do. And if you also find some areas where we can improve it further, please let us know. We are always willing to improve on our accessibility aspect of it. Okay. Then maybe what I can do, Pavan, is if there are no further questions on the interface or anything else, let me just invite people and let them join. And if they want to play with this too, just drop things on any of the page. It's perfectly open for everyone. But I have these 2 pages which are created where they can move these styles around on page number 5, on page number 4. They can enter the answers and self-check themselves, so whatever, but it will give them some understanding of it. We have like some time left, so I can do that. So I'm just gonna click this and paste it in the chat window. Hold on, let me make it to everyone in the meeting. Okay, and you guys can join. And meanwhile, please feel free to keep asking questions and I will address them. Yes.
This is like a Whiteboard.Chat power users group. So they have all the awesome suggestions.
Wonderful.
We should,
yeah,
we can have breakdown tool, work with fractions, sentences, human
nice.
anatomy.
I think those are wonderful suggestions. I mean, there is no, see, the one thing which we like about Whiteboard is the way we have architected it. There is no end to the creativity that you can unleash using our digitized manipulatives as well as our active widgets. So everything is possible. We just have to keep implementing and adding about it. While you guys are just like playing your way around it, I just wanted to quickly point out our community boards. And I think I'm not sure how many of you are taking advantage of it, but for example, I just went to the manage board and then the community board, and I'm just typing in the search, the escape room. And just wanted to quickly show a couple of that how elaborate people have created the community boards, and it can give you a jump start. And I would really, at least to those who are new to the whiteboard, and who want to kind of have a template, then this is a very wonderful way of getting started. So let me just quickly show like one of these boards, so you know the power of the community boards. So here what the teacher has done is created literally an escape room. These are all the clicks and each one of them takes to a different page on their board. And each page has a puzzle, and each page is also then password protected. So if you go on one of the page, you solve that particular puzzle, you enter the value of it, and only then the student can go to the next one. I'm sure since you all are power users, you know it. The point I'm trying to make here is that these community boards can give you like a jump start to creating your own. You make a copy. All I did here is to just make a copy. So it created a copy in my own manage board. Now I can manipulate it, change it, do whatever I want with it. So there are a lot of such community boards available that we have here. So I would just ask you. So here is another one which I will just quickly talk about, which is a group community board, where students can join and they will be placed into groups and they can work by running so 2 players can join a single group. And if you look at it, what they have done, they have created all these groups, and people can, as students come in, they will be placed into one of those groups. Each group is of 2 players. So again, even group boards are available for you to play your games and teach them fundamentals of fractions using highly visualized method in our community board. So please use it, contribute. If you have already created something, everybody can benefit from it. So Okay, I'm just going to go back to the main page here. Hold on. Okay. Any questions, anything at all? We have time. We can keep answering it. We have another 5 to 10 minutes to go.
And we can stay longer too.
Yes,
if you have
absolutely.
suggestions. So there's a question about text boxes and resizing. Sam, we know that there is, it's a little problematic. We can make it a little more easier to use. There is a way we are looking at where you don't have to use boxes anymore. It becomes more like you can click and type anywhere. So it'll come. Maybe you can show the handwriting recognition things, Towel.
Yes,
quickly.
absolutely. Yeah. Hold on. I'm just going to go to a page where I can just dump that thing in. Yeah, all right. Let me just go to page 7. So handwriting previously, like when we introduced the feature, it required you to drop kind of a box and then you type it in. Now it has become more like a inline. So, but you still need to select. So again, handwrite. So the thing to remember, it is right. Therefore, I should go under my left side under right and then select the handwrite. And oh, sorry, this is handwriting. So I have to write it in. I also forget. So as I'm typing in with my, you can see that it is automatically giving me suggestions. And again, the panels can be moved around and you have an option. So I'm just going to select this. So it now converted my handwriting into digital. The same thing is possible with, there is a magic draw. I think maybe many of you guys already probably know. Again, draw means you should go on the left side, select it under draw. And now let's say if I'm trying to draw, then I draw on this 2 wheels and let's see if I can make a bicycle out of it or something similar. Yeah, there it is. I've managed to find a bicycle. So yeah, this is how both of the features works. Pretty straightforward.
Can digital pens be used?
By digital pen, do we mean stylus?
Yes.
Yeah, so yes, so essentially, one of the things that Whiteboard works very well is with Chromebooks and with also with all the touch screen tablets, where you can use your stylus to write, draw, or even just use your finger to do the same thing. And we should point it out that v2.whiteboard, why we haven't rolled out, if you see that everything is there, why we aren't moving it to Whiteboard.Chat, like, and everything should be the new version. That is because we are still fixing a few issues related to the tablet specifically, and in the next few days. So if you find certain issues related to tablet stylus, please point us out to us. This is still a little bit work in progress and we still need a little bit more time to fix those issues. But I'm talking about V2. It works just well with any stylus, any touchpad, touch screen interface. When I'm talking about Whiteboard.Chat, we are just trying to make the same thing work seamlessly with the new interface. All right, let's see what's happening in the grid view, what people are doing. So one of the things, I don't know if you guys can see it, it is a little bit tiny, is the engagement score on the top. I think many of you, since you all are power user, I don't need to describe it, but that's what it is. So.
Yeah, I think we wanted to thank all of you guys. Based on your ideas and suggestions, we came up with V2 as well. All of you are super powerful power users of the platform, and we take your comments really seriously.
And again, there can be certain issues with V2 as we roll it out, as with any new change that we introduce. So, but you guys have been very patient with us and you have always helped us report the issues. So we continue to encourage you to please do that, work with us to make this tool even more robust, and especially this new look and feel more friendlier as well as less buggy. We hope that. The last thing I just wanted to talk about is just the manage board part. Again, if there are any new users here, if or power user, that's fine. But I think it is important for me to point it out that any board that you create, it will show up as in this listing. So if you look at it, I have some of the boards with a plus symbol in front of it, others with just a single board. Plus means that, for example, here, this Whiteboard.2.0, I have a whole bunch of students who have joined. So that's why the plus means that it is actually a class. Another important thing is that please keep an eye on the expiry date. So if you look at it, there are two dates here, when it is created and when the board is expiring. So if you haven't purchased any of the paid storage plan, by default, all of you are part of the educator free plan, which is where you have to refresh your boards manually. By that, what I mean is to click this symbol before July 28, at least few days before, and extend it if you want to save this board. Otherwise, the board will get deleted, and we know we have caused some pain for some of the teachers, but we just want to make sure that you guys all understand the expiry date aspect of it a little bit better. Okay, going back to the board. Any other questions, comments about the new look and feel, or anything at all? And another thing is, we have updated the teacher's guide and the student's guide. So let me just quickly go through that as well. By updation, I mean is that there are some new features where we still need to add. However, for each feature, according to the new look and feel, all the controls and all of that has been updated. So for example, if you go to any feature, where you find it, how to do it, all of that has been updated. But we still need to make this much more richer in terms of some of the new features that we keep adding. So there is still some lag there, but you still have access to these things directly from within the whiteboard itself. So it makes it easier for you to, we will be continue to enhance our FAQs, our other help articles, and our tutorial videos. So you can directly go from here to the YouTube channel. So it is also available, like we have tried to make all the help available, easily accessible within the whiteboard itself now. Pavan said, are there anything else that you think we should be covering? Otherwise, I'm mostly done with whatever I wanted to talk about.
No, I think that's it, Dhawal. Thank you so much. We'll keep doing the webinars, and if you want to see some of the advanced features, join our advanced webinar where we do cover in more detail group boards and auto correction and some of the newer things we keep adding.
Yes, so this particular one was a special webinar, and there is another one coming up on July 15th, where our focus was primarily on the new look and feel, but then we will resume our basic features and advanced features webinar. So, and we will be using the new UI from going onwards for all the webinars anyways. So,
and the recordings are available on our YouTube channel too. We'll put this on YouTube as well, and we'll post this on social media too.
okay, then let me stop the recording.